Hey everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Boom Shakha, and in this video we'll be speaking about how I want to kind of talk about the fact that I'm part of a lot of INFJ groups online, Facebook groups, and if you guys aren't, there are a lot of amazing INFJ groups online, Facebook groups online, and so I totally recommend you guys join them because it really made me feel less alone in the beginning of my journey. When I first discovered I was an INFJ, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this. This is so me. And then I went and found other people who were exactly like me, very similar to me because we're not all the same, right? And so I noticed a lot of comments or messages on there, and unfortunately, even though INFJs can be really bubbly and positive people, I noticed a lot of negative comments on there. Not negative comments in the fact that they're criticizing people, but negative comments in the fact that they have lost hope for humanity in general, and a lot of them are considering ending it all, or just considering that, what's the point? What's the point of living in this world when they have no hope for it? What's the point of living in this world where, people like Trump get hired as a president, or where people are being killed every single day or dying of hunger, and there are other people who are like, spending $1 billion on a house, that kind of stuff. Like, a lot of them are kind of losing hope that, they want, because we're all idealistic. INFJs are majorly idealistic, and so we always want to believe in the best of everything. But if you look at it, look at the world around us, the environment's being killed, and species are dying at a rate that's insane, and just in general, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's a little bit disheartening, especially to an INFJ because we're extremely empathic. I feel like we're so empathic that every single person on this planet who is going through a tough time, we're kind of absorbing their energy. And that's the reason that INFJs, a lot of them feel hopeless. It's because there's so much of that negative energy around, especially right now with all the terrorist attacks and all the dissension and all the divide and conquer and all the fights and arguments over everything. The reason I'm doing this video is because I was in this exact spot maybe a few years back, and I would walk around in this funk because I would think to myself, what is the point? Why am I even here? I'm just taking up space. I'm taking up food. I'm taking up air, precious food, air, space that could be assigned to someone else who's actually more useful than me, who could actually make a difference in the world, who could actually do something to help this world. Whereas I was just being empathic and feeling terrible about everything and not actually doing anything about it. And I want to remind you guys of the fact that even though a lot of us will feel like all the stuff that we're doing is completely useless, and we're just one person, right? I mean, we think to ourselves, what could we possibly do? I mean, what could we possibly really do when millions and billions of people are ruining the planet, or millions and billions of people are dying because of hunger, or millions of kids are, starving on the street, all that stuff. What could we really do? And I always want to remind myself, because I was in that funk as well, and I decided, if I can't do anything, if what I do doesn't matter, then I'm not going to do anything. And I think that's the wrong way to kind of go, that's the wrong extreme to go to. I always think that I want to kind of follow Mother Teresa's tenets, saying that, every single person matters on this planet. And even the little bit that you do on this planet, even if it's very tiny, and only affects one person, or half a person, or 1/4 of a person, even if it's so small that it doesn't make any ripples on this planet, even if it's so tiny that it doesn't change anything, it matters. Everything matters. And all you can do is take care of your own stuff. And by example, hopefully everyone else will start following you as well. But if INFJs, as the most empathic beings on this planet, start losing hope and don't do anything and give up on everything, don't even do the little bit that they can, then what hope do we have for this planet in general, right? And so what we need to do as INFJs is to do our little bit, our little part, our little bit, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be very big, it doesn't have to be humongous, it doesn't have to be affecting millions of people. It can just be a tiny little thing. And even if it's small, in our opinion it's small, it's still causing a ripple effect. Just like they say, a butterfly's wings flying or beating in one hemisphere can cause a hurricane in the other hemisphere of Earth. That's how powerful each tiny action, each tiny reaction can be, right? So the small things we're doing actually do make a difference. And I've noticed that over and over again in my own life. These small videos that I do, they're not really very special in any way. They're not really graphic or anything special really. But I do them because I have a passion for it and I'm sharing my knowledge. And hopefully, even if I can help one person with my videos, it really helps, right? To me, it makes a difference. But if I imagine to myself that only if millions of people watch my videos, that's the only way I do it, then I'm losing out. I'm losing out, and the world is losing out on our gifts, right? All those people who message me and say that these videos are really useful to them are going to lose out if I decided not to do them anymore, right? Not to say that I would only do them if it helped people, but even if it helps one person, it's already helped one person. These videos have already done what I wanted them to do, right? And that's with everything. One blog post that I write, even if it affects one person's thinking, it's done its job, right? And the fact that in myself, I trust myself more because I'm doing all of these things, because I'm putting myself out there, and because I am connecting with people in this manner, right? And that's very difficult for an INFJ. So the more I do this, the more confident I become in myself and in my actions. And I take more and more and more actions and affect more and more people and cause more of a ripple effect, right? But you have to start off with one small thing. You have to start off with something. And unfortunately, what INFJs do is that they give up hope completely. And I really want to implore you guys not to do that anymore. Or try not to do that anymore, because I know it's hard. I'm sitting here right now and I'm thinking to myself, how many people are actually going to watch this video? What is the point of it? Why am I even doing it? I could do something else. I could go get a real job and make real money, or I could do something that really affects the world, right? Like, I don't know, something different. But I'm doing this because this matters to me, and I know that this one little video that I do could have a ripple effect into the entire universe. Energy matters, right? And we don't know what's going to happen in the future. All we can focus on is right now, in the present moment. What are we going to do? What actions are we going to take? What choices are we going to make? And who are we trying to affect? Right? Every single moment I ask myself, what am I trying to do in this moment right now? How am I going to affect the world? So I do a video, or I do a podcast, or I write a blog post, or I write a short story, whatever it might be. In each moment, I'm doing something. And even though it might be a very small gesture, maybe 2 people read it, maybe 1 person, maybe no one reads it. But in each action, there is a ripple effect inherent in it without us knowing about it. We don't know what it's going to result in. We have no idea. This one video that we might have done 10 years ago might result in someone not committing suicide 10 years later. And that matters, right? That matters. Even that one tiny little thing matters. And so please don't give up hope. Keep on going. Do the little actions that you're on constantly doing every single day. Yesterday, I met up with this girl who was looking for a psychotherapist because she was dealing with depression and anorexia. And, I put out some feelers and I looked for a person for her, a therapist, and I found one and I sent it out to her. That tiny action, it didn't mean anything to me. It took me 2 seconds. I put out some messages to people I know, actually just one message. And this lady came back right away, amazing woman here living in Chiang Mai, awesome lady. And she sent me this message about this therapist, and I sent that over to this lady who needed the therapist. That's all. That's all I did. And in the fact of the matter is that I know this person is suffering, and I feel empathically that how much they're suffering, right? So I feel, what have I done really? I've just connected them to this person. What is the point of it? How did I really help them? Well, I did. Just the fact that I paid attention to them, just the fact that they're not invisible anymore, that their pain and suffering isn't invisible anymore. That's what INFJs do. We notice people's pain and suffering, and we are privy to them, and we see it, and we acknowledge it, and we're there for them. Right? And that matters. That matters to so many people. So don't give up hope. Keep on being yourself. Don't close yourself off and go out in the world. Of course, protect yourself. And that's the reason I always tell you guys to protect yourself completely and utterly before you go out in the world. Because if we really let ourselves be open and empathic, that person's suffering is going to completely annihilate us. So we have to be really careful about that, right? So don't obviously close yourself off completely because you're losing hope, but don't completely give yourself up and burn out and kill yourself in the process, right? Find that balance, but don't lose hope on this planet. There is a lot of negativity happening, a lot of negative actions and a lot of negative people, obviously. But that is why we need INFJs. We need our positivity. We need our empathicness. We need our flexibility. We need us to be alive and truly on this planet so we can offset, we can balance it out, balance out the negativity. But we can only do that one step at a time. We're not going to affect 1 billion people at once. But we can do something little and it'll ripple out to everyone. It does. It matters, guys. Everything you do matters. Even though you might think that it doesn't matter, it matters. Everything matters. Just remember that. Remember that every single time you're doing something that feels like it doesn't matter. Everything matters. You matter, and every little action you take matters. So don't give up hope and keep on going. Keep on going. Do the little things and change this world in your own manner. It matters, guys. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I've been seeing so many negative messages from all these people, and I just obviously feel for them, but I also want to remind them that not everyone is going to be Mother Teresa and affecting millions of people. Maybe we'll get there eventually, but right now what we can do is affect one person. Start off with one individual and do our job right, and then keep on going from there. Hope this makes sense. I hope that you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. You can join my team at patreon.com/boomshika if you're interested. If not, I'll talk to you guys the next time around. Bye for now.